Coming up, thousands are left in the dark as strong winds hit the region.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A strong cold front is moving through the mountains as we speak. Gusty winds have caused some issues and temperatures are dropping fast behind that front. Nearly 2,000 customers were left in the dark in Perry County earlier tonight. And check out this video near downtown Hazard. The officials say there was a transmission outage. The power was out on Main Street and other areas for about 2 hours. It's back on now. Officials say future disruptions are not expected, but can we expect more weather issues overnight? Meteorologist Evan Hatter has the latest on this severe weather alert day. Evan.
That's right, Steve. I do think that a few more issues are possible as we head later on into tonight, at least for the early part of the overnight before we finally wind this whole thing down. Outside right now, that's why we do still have a wind advisory and a high wind warning in effect for those counties, well, really everybody. The high wind warning, of course, for the counties there in gold, meaning the potential for some of the highest wind values above 50, 60 miles per hour. And we're not done with that. That runs until 1 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to have to still keep an eye on that as we head into tomorrow. These are the current sustained winds. Notice we got a bit of a break after that round of rain moved through, but look out to the west. We're not done with the wind yet. We still have wind between 20 and 25 miles per hour into the Cumberland Valley. You factor in the gusts. Look at that. Just now a 46 mile per hour gust in London outside of any thunderstorms. As the backside of that front moves through, we had a 46 mile per hour wind gust not too long ago up near Moorhead. And you don't need a meteorology degree to see where the front is. It's 62 in Jackson, it's 56 in Irvin, it's 35 in Lexington. You don't need radar either. That thin green line you see pushing through the center of the area, that's the cold front. You're likely to get in on a little bit more brief, moderate to heavy rain. And then winds come screaming out of the west, and you already see some of that snow getting going across portions of southern Indiana as a very chilly air mass works in. We're down into the low 30s by the time we wake up in the morning, with what's moisture's left over turning to a few snow showers for the morning drive. I'll have the very latest on what we can expect heading into the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, of course, everyone needs to be careful out driving tonight. You never know what these winds are going to bring down, trees, power lines, or anything else. Well, we have more local weather coverage on the WYMT News app, including that crazy video out of Hazard from the power outage. Very eerie tonight in downtown, driving through in the dark. If you have not downloaded the app, just take a scan of the code on your screen with your phone camera. This will take you to a link to our news app that you can download. And you can always find the latest closings and delays along with breaking news alerts. We encourage you to download both the WYMT News and weather apps. We do have, I think, 3 or 4 school closings for tomorrow, but I believe those are all COVID related. Well, a brush fire was burning out of control earlier tonight near Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, before the rain arrived. At last check, the Sevier County Emergency Management Agency said the fire is between 30 and 40 acres and is now 45% contained. There was a 2-mile evacuation from Parkside Resort near Little Cove Road and Pine Mountain Road. That has since been lifted. Deputies say the fire started from a structure fire that the wind spread. A temporary shelter was set up in Pigeon Forge Community Center. A man calling himself Jesus Christ on Facebook was in a 7-hour standoff with police today. WYMT's Zach Hawk was near the scene for much of the day in Letcher County and has the latest.
Local law enforcement and state police went to serve a warrant on Jeffrey Hampton of Millstone at 11 a.m. Thursday.
Upon arrival at that location, some type of altercation occurred leading up to shots being fired.
Hampton fired on police before barricading his home. Law enforcement from across the region responded and began negotiations.
After failed negotiations, communications with the subject, Kentucky State Police activated our special response team.
Despite online rumors, there was not an active hostage situation. However, the suspect was active on his Facebook page during the standoff. The page has many posts vaguely threatening, and law enforcement are aware of the account. Despite the tense standoff, police officials say the eventual outcome was preferable.
Well, it's just a situation that had the best end result, and a result that we want to have to happen every time we respond out to a location.
The special response team out of Frankfort arrived on scene and used chemical devices to flush Hampton out of his home, where he surrendered without injury to himself or law enforcement.
He would be taken to Letcher County Jail and booked on numerous charges.
Kentucky State Police are leading the ongoing investigation. In Letcher County, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
Hampton was charged with resisting arrest, menacing, wanton endangerment, and terroristic threatening, among other charges stemming from the initial arrest warrant. Breathitt County Sheriff John Holland is asking for help identifying a man looking into people's homes. In videos posted to Facebook, a man was seen standing outside a home and looking into windows. Sheriff Holland says the suspect may have a Breathitt County Sheriff's Office shirt, but he is not a deputy or affiliated with the department. Police say the man has a weapon and should be considered dangerous. If anyone has information, you can call the sheriff at 606-272-2540. In Johnson County, Kentucky State Police discovered suspected meth, prescription pills, marijuana, and various drug paraphernalia, as well as a gun during a traffic stop on US 23 in Prestonsburg. Troopers say 38-year-old Ned Davis is facing several charges and was taken to the Floyd County Detention Center. The Pikeville Police Department had to chase a suspect down on Wednesday night. 33-year-old Donnie McClanahan of Pikeville was wanted for the theft of more than $25,000 worth of property from a home and was pulled over on US 119. Police say McClanahan then got away on foot but was arrested after a short chase. After being taken to the Pike County Detention Center, a search revealed McClanahan was hiding drugs in his rectum.
Of course, over at the Pike County Detention Center, the deputy jailers are going to do a way more intensive search than what we can. We can just do basically a pat-down search for large items, things that could hurt us, guns, knives, drugs, and pockets. But they do a more intense search.
Officer Kahn said McClanahan's charges include theft, fleeing and evading, wanton endangerment, as well as drug-related charges. A forest fire is blamed for destroying a home in Letcher County. The fire happened on Tuesday. The house belonged to Lenny Holbrook Sr. He says a tree caught fire and fell on his house. Holbrook says he's staying at a motel for now. He says he does have a new home to go to soon.
My daughter just bought a home over in Wise, and they're in the process of moving over there. So hopefully when they get moved out, we'll be able to take their place until we was able to get financially stable to see what we're going to be able to do here.
Holbrook says he unfortunately did not have insurance on his house or the items inside. With another rate increase piling onto an already financially drained community, water customers in Martin County are asking for help. The Martin County Water District just received a more than 21% rate increase from the Public Service Commission. Though the district only asked for a 12% increase to break even, officials say the commission thought that wasn't enough. And while some customers understand the need for money, they say it should come from other places, not people already struggling to get by.
If we can find some outside resources to help and support us and support our town, that would ease the stress off the water board, the stress off Alliance, and also the stress off the residents, most importantly.
Craig Miller with Alliance says the district is just trying to work with everyone to move the county's infrastructure forward. A bill that would block the release of information about public officials is moving forward in Frankfort. Senate Bill 63 passed out of the Senate Judiciary Committee 9-2 this morning. The measure would exempt personally identifiable information of many public officials and their families from Kentucky's Open Records Act. The Kentucky Press Association is strongly against the bill, saying it is too broad, will keep public officials from going unchecked, and for the first time would impose civil liabilities for publication of truthful information. It appears Kentucky's May primary will be on schedule after a judge refused to block the state's new redistricting laws. The Kentucky Democratic Party asked the judge for a temporary injunction after they sued the state, claiming the new maps passed by the legislature was political gerrymandering. The GOP says the maps are fair and legal. In the ruling, the judge said the injunction request was filed too late, and blocking the new maps now would throw the election process into disarray. The judge set a hearing for next week on a motion to dismiss the lawsuit. Still to come on Mountain News at 11, staffing issues are making it harder to care for our eldest Kentuckians. We'll take a look at the problems impacting nursing homes.
And as our severe weather threat moves out, cold air moves back into the region as soon as tonight. I'll have the very latest on that coming up next.